Fox Sports.
We are Blackboard. We are Wisconsin.
The road trip continues. Miami, Florida. We are at Marlins Park. The roof is all closed up here tonight. It's the Brewers and the Marlins, game 2 of this 3-game series and game 2 of this 8-game road trip. That'll take us to the All-Star break. Not a good way to start it. Last night, Corey Knebel giving up a single. Brian Holiday with a base hit, a walk-off hit for the Marlins as they beat the Brewers in 10 innings by a final of 4-3. And first time the Marlins have beaten Milwaukee this season. And now the Brewers try to turn the tables on the Fighting Fish here tonight. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minard in just a moment. Well, let's get right to the pitching matchup tonight. Rock, there is 2 guys from Venezuela on the mound, one 22 years of age, one 30 years of age, and Jhoulys Chacín.
Yeah, and everything they're saying about Lopez right now is what everybody was saying in baseball about Chacín about 8 years ago. Lopez was in A-ball last year. Split time between AA and AAA this year, 144 earned run average, not a hard thrower, has a pretty good curveball. But the guy that's on the hill today for the Brewers is going to have that curveball. This Marlins ball club, they hunt fastballs. They did a good job of it yesterday. A couple of home runs off of Josh Hader. The curveball Chacín is going to be a huge pitch for him. Marlins struggle with the off-speed stuff. His curveball has been very good as of late.
Just about everybody yesterday who pitched for Milwaukee struggled with the breaking stuff. One of the reasons why the Marlins were able to take advantage late, ironically, was one on a hanging curveball. Well, the Brewers have taxed their depth, but their depth has been the reason they are still in first place. Jacob Nottingham, what a performance last night. Sophia has more on the rookie catcher after this.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
I'm Lorenzo Kane. I believe in Jesus.
I'm Ryan Braun, and I believe in Jesus.
Soy Hernán Pérez. Yo creo en Jesús.
I'm Josh Hader, and I believe in Jesus.
I'm Jeremy Jeffers, and I believe in Jesus.
I'm Jesus Aguilar. I approve this message.
His Brewers teammates are believing, the organization is believing, Brewers fans and fans across baseball are believing in Jesus Aguilar that he should be an all-star. A look at the countdown clock. You have just under 21 hours to continue voting Jesus Aguilar to the all-star game. He is currently leading the final vote. Again, we'll find out at 3 p.m. Central tomorrow whether Jesus Aguilar will be joining Lorenzo Kane, Christian Yelich, and Josh Hader in the All-Star game in Washington, D.C. So good evening, everyone. Sophia Minard here at Marlins Park, and maybe nobody is a better example of the Brewers' depth this season than Jesus Aguilar. He had to slug his way onto the roster last year at spring training. He had to fight for a roster spot again this season. He didn't get regular playing time until the later part of April, and he's one of 45 players that have been used by David Stearns and Craig Counsell on this Brewers roster. That's the third most of players used across all of baseball this season. And keep in mind, last year the Brewers used 50 players total, and we're just getting to the All-Star break. So manager Craig Counsell spoke about the depth of this team and how guys continue to step up with their playing time opportunities.
It's expected that it's a 25-man roster, and you have to do your part. And if you're on the 25-man roster, you'll be asked to do your part. And I think culturally, it's kind of, we expect that. The guys expect that, and organizationally, we expect it. Doesn't have to be, it's not going to be the same guy. It's going to be different guys. It has to be different guys. And I think that's a good thing. I think it puts us in a good place. And I think, it allows, maybe the guys on the roster that don't contribute quite as much, but they still expect to be the guy that wins the game one time.
Jesus Aguilar hit his league-leading 23rd home run last night. Christian Yelich, Lorenzo Kane, they look to even the series here against the Marlins as they send Yolis Chassin to the mound. We've got first pitch and lineups coming up next here in Miami.
Milwaukee Brewers ready to take on the Miami Marlins. We're just about ready for first pitch. The roof is all closed up. 84 degrees outside and raining cats and dogs. Good thing they've got a roof here, a retractable roof, which is all sealed up. Brian Anderson with
Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minner. Tonight's game produced by Dan Keener, directed by Renardo Lowe. And there is the former Marlin Craig Counsell, scored one of the most famous runs in Marlins history. I'd say it is the most famous run in Marlins history. That 1997 World Series Championship Ball Club in '97. Craig Counsell and the Brewers today line up this way, courtesy of Potawatomi. Eric Thames will lead off. He's in right. Christian Yelich in left. Jesus Aguilar hits third. He's over at first. In the middle, it's Shaw, Saladino, and Miller. Saladino gets to start at shortstop. And the bottom three, Keon Broxton, Eric Kratz, and Jolie Chassin. No Lorenzo Cain in the lineup. Just a matter for Lorenzo Cain of maintenance on that groin injury. So he played 2 days and he gets this one off. And Rock, tell us about Pablo Lopez. Made the big jump from A ball to the big leagues in 1 year's time.
Yeah, no kidding. In single A last year, he split time between Double A and Triple A this year before getting a call up to Miami. 12 starts down in the minor leagues, a 144 earned run average. He won a game, his major league debut. That came back on June 20th. His last start, not so good against Washington. 5 innings, 5 runs he allowed. Control pitcher, doesn't throw hard. Relies on the curveball. Let's check out the defense behind Lopez here today. Got Dietrich, Babin, and Anderson in the outfield. Rojas, Riddle, Castro up the middle. Cooper, the former Brewer farmhand, at first base, and Holiday behind home plate. Very good throwing catcher, Brian Holiday, behind home plate tonight.
And he had the game winner last night at the plate in the 10th inning. The Marlins win in walk-off style. Mike McClinsky will call the balls and strikes. Adrian Johnson, Trip Gibson, and Brian Gorman are the 3 umpires on the base pads. Crew chief over there at third in case we have a review here tonight. Set to go, all the pieces in place. The shift is on for Eric Thames, and the first pitch from Lopez in there for strike one, and away we go. We'll probably see a lot of breaking stuff tonight from both of these pitchers. They both have the full arsenal of off speed as Thames goes to the opposite field, and he is going to reach on an infield hit, so he slapped it the other way, defying the shift. And Thames is aboard to start the ball game tonight.
Let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. The curveball is going to be a big pitch for both of these pitchers, but Chassin needs to have a good one right away. This Marlins ball club, they can hit some fastballs. And speaking of Marlins offense, you know, since May 28th, the Marlins have more hits than any team in the big leagues. That's a surprise. A lot of them singles, and once again, hey, let's vote Jesus Aguilar.
Vote Jesus. You have until tomorrow at 3 o'clock. He is leading the final voting right now after one day. That's a good sign. Here's Yelich on the first pitch. Hits it hard down the left field line. It's going to bounce off the base of the wall. On his way to third is Thames. Yelich into second with a double.
Oh, what a start.
Brewers come out aggressive here tonight. And 2 on with nobody out as Yelich comes up with a 2-bagger.
Yeah, the 2-seamer going away from Yelich, only 92 miles an hour, and he goes right with it. Yeah, both Thames and Yelich going to the opposite field. A very good start for the Brewers. That's what you want to do. You want to put the young pitcher, 22 years old, get his back up against the wall, see if he can get himself out of it.
Double number 13 for Christian Yelich to go along with his 11 home runs. Yelich was 2 for 5 yesterday. That sets up Aguilar, the Brewers' top run producer, at the plate with 2 on, nobody out in the first. And Lopez starts him with a hook. Aguilar homered yesterday, now leads the National League in that category. 23 home runs for the year. He is the National League leader in OPS, up over 1,000 still. That is a heavy slugging percentage for Jesus Aguilar. The on-base percentage is good at 368, but the slugging percentage is off the charts at 639.
Yeah, hitting 300 and a lot of those hits extra bases. Incredible start to his season.
Well, last night Aguilar stepped up, and our StatCast presented by AWS shows us it went 389 feet. That's just a ho-hum home run for Jesus Aguilar.
Yeah, fastball up and in. on a 3-1 pitch.
A man who regularly hits one over 400 feet. The Brewers just could not scratch a run in the game yesterday late. Aguilar was one of the culprits, and he talked about it after the game. That's another thing you like about Jesus. He's having a great year, but he stands up and takes ownership in those moments. And he said he had a bad at-bat late in the game with the Brewers having a chance to score in extra innings. It was an exact scenario as we have right now, and Aguilar draws the walk this time. Makes the adjustment. He is aboard, and the bases are loaded with nobody out in the first.
They haven't had too many bad at-bats with runners in scoring position this year. That was one of them, and he was the first to admit it.
Travis Shaw did have a key hit last night. He tied the game after the Marlins had taken the lead. Shaw came back in the 8th inning, had a 2-out single, and got the game back level at 3. Marlins would go on to win in 10 innings 4-3. So let's see if Shaw can get it going at the plate once again.
Well, we talked about Jolie Chacin and the importance of the curveball to him tonight, and that's going to be equally important for Lopez, who does not throw very hard. Having a difficult time locating the curveball here in the first inning. That's good for the Brewer offense.
Shaw got off to such a great start this year. He has slowed significantly since the early part of June. A lot of that due to a right wrist injury, which he played through. That ball's ripped. Nice play, Riddle. Wow, step on the bag, throw to first, not in time. It'll be an RBI for Shaw on a heck of a play by JT Riddle just to get an out there.
Yeah, probably saved a run and got it out. Yeah, good hands. That ball took a little bit of a funny hop. It went up on him, and he's able to handle it. Able to get to the bag at second base, but Travis able to get down the line really well. That play right there, look at the glove work by Riddle, but Shaw able to beat it at first base.
An RBI for Shaw. 1-0 Brewers. They take the early lead here tonight. First and third now with 1 out. First out of the game. And here is Tyler Saladino. Saladino played yesterday, did not start. Hernan Perez started at shortstop in yesterday's game. Saladino did enter the game late in a double switch. Did get an at-bat. He was 0 for 1. Missed significant time with that ankle injury, but he has come back and he has given the Brewers a good option at the shortstop position. Saladino is an excellent glove man at short.
Yeah, but he's off to a pretty good start with a bat, hitting over 280.
Brewers brought him up on May 9th after they claimed him from the Chicago White Sox. He had spent some time in AAA. Brewers actually got him in a trade for cash. He was taken off the White Sox Major League roster. They were trying to reorganize their roster. They're in a rebuild scenario there, and Saladino, who's 30 years of age, didn't figure to be part of their plans, and the Brewers were able to work out a deal before he became available to every other major league team. That was a cash transaction, and he has actually played well for the Brewers until that injury. His success, as a matter of fact, is the reason why Milwaukee has been able to send Orlando Arcia down to try to work on his offensive mechanics. There's not a lot of players, defensive players like Arcia in the game, certainly not in the organization, but Saladino has been able to hold the fort down.
Yeah, does a good enough job, and he has a pretty good bat to go with it. Yeah, but you figure down the road, the future is with Orlando Arcia. It's up to him to get back to the big leagues. It could be an extended stay down in AAA if that's what it takes for him to get it going with the bat.
AAA right now on their All-Star break, the Pacific Coast League All-Star break. So no games the next few days for Colorado Springs. Saladino pulls one foul.
Count remains at 1-2 strikes. The Brewers trying to make this a big first inning. That base is loaded, nobody out. A run is in now. First and third with one away. If you're just picking us up here, game 2 of this 3-game series with the Marlins. And then the Brewers will go to Pittsburgh for 5 games in 4 days. A doubleheader on Saturday. A ball and 2 strikes on Saladino. This is the middle of a stretch now where the Brewers are playing 21 games in 20 days without an off day.
So you're going to see Craig Counsell, sit some of his guys. Kane gets today off. After coming off the disabled list, you give him a day off and you give him a nice stretch going into the break.
Nice to see Wade Miley on that bench. He'll make a start on Thursday. Brewers getting the left-hander back. Another 1-2 pitch to Saladino. Back into the screen it goes.
Yeah, 95 that last one. Pitch before was a changeup. Changeup in the upper 80s. Curveball in the upper 70s. He's got some pretty good movement on that fastball tonight.
22-year-old Venezuelan Pablo Lopez blitzing his way through the Marlins minor league system. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First and third here in the first. Long battle with Saladino and Lopez. And a check on Shaw.
Travis wondering, what are you throwing over for? I'm not going anywhere.
Although Travis Shaw's been known for the stealthy stolen base. He'll try it every now and then. He is not blessed with great speed.
Right, this guy behind home plate's got a cannon behind home plate. We saw that last night.
Another 1-2. Saladino fouls off another one. What a battle here with Tyler Saladino. Pitch number 9 of the at-bat coming to Saladino. Still a 1-2 count. And he got him. Went with a fastball and struck him out for out number 2.
93 up and away. You can see where the target is. He left it out over the plate, and Saladino, after a long battle, swings right through it. That's a big out for the young right-hander.
Second out of the inning. Still first and third for the Brewers, and here is Brad Miller. Second consecutive start for Miller in this series. He's over at second base. This is his 8th start at second base this season for Milwaukee. And like Saladino, another guy that started his year with another organization. The Brewers acquired Miller on June 10th. He has been with the organization 1 month. Got him from the Tampa Bay Rays. Traded G-Man Choi to Tampa Bay to get Brad Miller, hoping for a little thump in the middle infield, and he has given the Brewers just that.
And 2 home runs, 8 RBIs as a Brewer. This is his 15th game with Milwaukee.
Yelich with a double. He's over at third. Travis Shaw with an RBI fielder's choice at first. 2 outs in the first. Lopez deals and Miller takes a strike.
Changeup right there. 86 miles an hour. Took a little off of it and put it at the bottom of the strike zone. That's a dandy on a 2-1 count.
Seeing the full arsenal in this first inning of Pablo Lopez.
The book on him is that he will use all of his pitches in any count, and he is extremely poised for a pitcher his age. Brewers testing him early in this first inning. Here's a 2-2, and Miller slaps one foul and out of play. After the Brewers acquired Miller, they sent him to AAA. That guy's happy to get a foul ball. They sent him to AAA primarily to play shortstop. They wanted him to get as many reps as he could at the shortstop position. Brewers finally brought him up to the big leagues a couple of weeks after they acquired him via trade. He came to Milwaukee on the 23rd of June. Shaw takes off. The pitch is just outside.
Yeah, pretty good pitch. You saw Holiday. He was heading toward the dugout. There you go, Travis Shaw, just like you talked about. It was supposed to be down and in, ended up on the outside corner, didn't get the call, and Shaw steals it.
His first steal of the year, Travis Shaw. He actually had 10 stolen bases last year. Now a base hit could score 2. 3-2 the count. And Miller strikes out to end the inning. Got him with a changeup, a dandy. Brewers get one though, and they're on the board first tonight in Miami. Moore had a promising start to the game here tonight, but they'll settle for the 1 run in the first inning and an early lead for Jolie Chassin. There's Don Mattingly. Donnie Baseball, 3rd season now as the Marlins manager. Over 2,000 hits as a member of the New York Yankees. Back problems shut his career down early. Derek Dietrich, Brian Anderson, Starlin Castro at the top of the order for Mattingly, with Cooper, Riddle, and Rojas in the middle. Maben, Holiday, and Lopez round out the Potawatomi 9 for the Fish. And Jolies Chassin on the mound for the Brew Crew tonight, facing Derek Dietrich to start this first inning.
Yeah, Chassin picked up a win his last time out at home against the Braves.
Dietrich inside the line, a fair ball. That's going to go for extras. And Dietrich with a leadoff double. Just snuck it inside the foul line down the right field line.
It was out in front. Front a little bit, one hand takes the top hand off at the point of contact and able to just get it inside that right field line. So a good start of the day for Miami. These guys can swing the bats. And since the end of May, they have more hits than any team in the big leagues. That's hard to believe, but they do. A lot of them singles. They don't have a lot of power, but they can hit a little bit.
Well, their last 2 games, they have 35 hits. And add one of their first at bat here tonight. The double by Dietrich sets up Brian Anderson, who hit a key home run last night. He launched one into the sculpture out there in deep left center. That put the Marlins ahead. Back-to-back home runs off Josh Hader last night. Starlin Castro tied it, then Anderson on the very next pitch put Miami on top. One of the best rookies in the game right here. A bouncer to third. Shaw looks back the runner, and the out at first. One away.
Well, let's check out the defense behind Chassin here today. I've had two seamers working. Infield's going to be busy. Outfield's got Yelich, Broxton, and Thames. Broxton in center. No Lorenzo Cain tonight. Got Travis Shaw, Saladino, Miller up the middle. Jesus Aguilar at first, and Eric Kratz gets the call behind home plate. Hanging the signs for Chassin today.
Brewers going with two catchers with Manny Pena on the disabled list. The veteran Eric Kratz and the rookie Jacob Nottingham, who collected his first base hit in last night's game. Had his first extra base hit as well.
He's pumped up today before the game. Went down, saw him in the dugout.
That'll be a game he'll never forget.
Nice to have a batting average in the big leagues.
That's right. Get that first one out of the way. And two hits last night for Nottingham. He and Kratz will share the duties while Pena is on the DL with a bicep strain. Probably going to be a couple of weeks. There's Jacob, the young catcher up from AAA. 2 balls, no strikes. The batter is Starlin Castro. Castro's really swinging the bat well for the Marlins. Now this Marlins team now, so the last 31 games they're up over 500. They are 16-15 over their last 31. They have won back-to-back games. They finally beat the Washington Nationals on Sunday. They had lost 14 straight to Washington until their victory Sunday. That was the game they belted out 22 hits. 20 of those were singles. And then they kept on hitting last night. Castro with an 8-game hitting streak going right now. And it's been a hard streak at that. He's got 17 hits in those 8 games. And Chassin walks him, gave him a flurry of breaking stuff. And Castro is aboard.
Yeah, you don't want that guy beating it. Yeah, the Marlins are 7th in the league in batting average. Dead last in homers. So they can pile up the hits, but not a lot of slugging percentage. And runs per game down just under 4. They don't run a whole lot. They don't hit a lot of home runs. Not a good combination.
Got a turn of the century offense here in Miami. A lot of singles. 2 on with 1 away. Here is Garrett Cooper. Marlins have a couple of former Brewers on their roster. Garrett Cooper and Yadiel Rivera on the active roster right now. Had a chance to talk to Lewis Brinson before the game today. He is dealing with a hip injury, so he's going to be down a few more weeks. That one is driven into right center. That's a base hit. Broxton able to cut it off. That will hold Cooper to a single, but he's going to drive in a run, and just like that, the Marlins tie it up.
And once again, fastball. Dietrich a fastball, hit a double down the line. Cooper able to take one out into the gap. Beware when you throw a fastball over the plate to these guys. They're going to put a pretty good swing on it. And Cooper able to tie it up. That's a nice swing out in the gap, and Keon Broxton able to cut it off.
Good play by Broxton, able to cut that off to save a run. Also keeps Cooper at first, gives Chassin a chance to get a double play ball. JT Riddle, the Marlins shortstop, terrific young player here as well. He'll be one of the cornerstone pieces, you would think. Excellent glove man. Now, we saw Anderson struggle with his breaking ball command yesterday. And even though he did not allow an earned run in 4 2/3 innings, he was pitching in traffic the entire game. And pitch count got him.
Man, it was hot. Roof was open.
Remember that cut on his face we saw yesterday while he was pitching? Right there under his eye. You know what that's from?
Yeah, I heard.
That's from a Jesus Aguilar fathead that they were waving down there, and the little cutout poster, and it caught him right under the eye in the middle of the game.
Wrong place at the wrong time.
As Adam McCalvey said of MLB.com, the Brewers are literally shedding blood for Jesus Aguilar to make it into the All-Star game.
Just a flesh wound. He'll be fine.
He's got it lathered up pretty good. It's good medicine on there. First and third with one away. Riddle at the plate and a little jam shot. Broxton coming in, can't get there. This is going to give the Marlins the lead. And another single. Back-to-back hits for the Marlins, third of the inning, and it's 2-1 Miami.
Another fastball, another base hit. Actually, no, curveball. My mistake, 79 miles an hour up in the zone, and Riddle able to get enough of it. And Keon Broxton not able to get there, and another run in.
Most singles in the National League, the Miami Marlins. 20 of those coming on Sunday. And 2 singles in this inning have given the Marlins the lead quickly. Brewers scored a run in the first. Marlins have answered. And still at it here in the bottom of the first with 2 on and Miguel Rojas coming up. Rojas had a bunt single last night in a pinch hit appearance. Did not start the game, but finished the game at third base. Check at first base, I beg your pardon. He's getting the start at third base tonight.
And Justin Bour, Martin Prado, not in the starting lineup tonight.
Marlins are without their all-star catcher, JT Realmuto. He is on paternity leave, the birth of his first child, so he is away from the team this entire series.
You wonder where he's going to end up by the end of the month.
Yeah.
If he's going to go anywhere.
There's a lot of trade winds swirling around Realmuto as well. There's a wave and a miss from Rojas.
That's what you got to do to these guys. It's almost like, you know, one after another. You really can't set these guys up. They're just sitting dead red. They're just looking fastball. Unless you hang one. Knebel hung one last night in the 10th. And Riddle hit a hanging curveball for an RBI this inning.
Chacin could use a double play ball. 2 runs are in on 3 hits. The 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Second out of the inning, first K for Chacin.
And good movement down out of the strike zone with 2 strikes. That'll make him chase 90 miles an hour. Good movement. And swings right over the top of it.
So 2 gone, and it'll be Cameron Maben. Maben starting to get it going at the plate as well after a brutal start to the season. He's got hits in his last 6 starts, including a homer. Last night had 2 hits. He walked twice. He stole 2 bases.
And he can run him down in the outfield. Good range out there. You got to have it in this ballpark. Huge center field.
1-1. Maben, the 7th place hitter in Don Mattingly's lineup. Chacin having to work to get through this first. Brewers got a run on an RBI fielder's choice from Travis Shaw. The Brewers had the bases loaded with nobody out in the first inning. Got just the 1. Maben pops this one foul and out of play.
Yeah, Brewers had the bases loaded, nobody out in the 10th inning last night. Wasn't able to score. That happens once in a while. The Brewers have been doing such a good job of that. Every now and again, you got to tip your hat to the pitching.
Well, the Brewers still lead in the division by a game and a half. The Cubs lost in extra innings to the Giants last night in San Francisco. Maben right off the end of the bat. routine pop up to Miller, and that will retire the side. Shaky first inning. Brewers get one in the top half. The Marlins answer with two in the bottom half. Lead, a very busy first inning here at Marlins Park. Keon Broxton ready to lead off as we go to the second. Broxton, Kratz, and Chacin due up against the rookie Pablo Lopez. Lopez was able to settle down and get through that first inning, striking out Saladino and Miller to end the inning. Anxious to watch this guy pitch. He comes with high praise. The Marlins are very high on Pablo Lopez. Not really a guy that was high on a prospect list, but he's just had so much success at every level, the dominating kind of success that when you're in a rebuild, you take note. Broxton, a little bouncer, going to be a tough play, and no play as Broxton beats it down the line for an infield hit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just put the ball in play, and with his speed, he's going to beat out a lot of infield hits. A curveball from Lopez, and Broxton just able to get a piece of it and rolls it down the line. So good speed at first base to start the second.
Keon came up when Lorenzo Cain went on the disabled list. Cain is back. Broxton has played so well, especially defensively, that he remains. Ryan Braun on the DL now. Braun not with the team here in Miami. Won't see Braun till after the All-Star break. Soreness in the side. Those intercostals, the oblique. He's had problems with that in the past.
Just needs rest. No sense in having him jump on airplanes and sit in hotel rooms. Go home, get it better, and be ready for the second half.
Brewers have fought off so many injuries this year. They have played so well. The talent that is in their higher levels in the minor leagues. There has been a pretty consistent train going from Colorado Springs to the Brewers this season, using a lot of players. And the Brewers, with 45 players used this year, Jacob Nottingham being the 45th player. That is the third most in the majors, utilizing the roster well.
And they've all had an impact one way or another.
Erik Kratz was one of those late adds this season. Brewers got him in late May from the Yankees. He sends one down the right field line, foul. He got it. Look at that. He's got the wristband with the like the plays on, like a quarterback would wear, some kind of
He's ready to compete. Yeah. Had it all the way.
Yeah, we caught him.
I'm up. I'm all right. One ball, one strike. Ooh, close play. Broxton had a lean and just able to get back, needing all of that 6'3" frame of his.
Yeah, you better get a good jump if you're going to steal a base with Holiday behind home plate. Yeah, he was taking a move towards second. This guy's got a cannon behind home plate, one of the best throwing arms of any catcher in the big leagues.
Marlins are having a look at this replay in case they want to go to a review here, and I think they might want to review. I'm going to take a look at this. No, Don Mattingly is stalling for time. Home plate umpire Mike McClinsky says, I need an answer. There you go. Play on. 30 seconds you're supposed to have. They actually start the clock. And that umpire will start walking over there about 20 seconds. Baseball's done a pretty good job streamlining this replay system, I think, over the last few years. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Kratz. Takes it inside, 2-1.
Every close play is being looked at. Haven't seen too many get overturned, though. I mean, we've seen less of that this year than we had in the past.
Yeah, those bang bang plays are not being reversed often. Shift is on for Kratz. They've got 3 infielders on the left side. And a little jam shot. Nobody over there. Castro will make the play. But Broxton will advance.
Hey, get on board with the Brewers campaign to send Jesus Aguilar to the All-Star game this year. The final vote ends tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central, and you can do your part by heading to brewers.com/vote and selecting Aguilar as many times as possible. You know, I got here at the ballpark early today. 50 times I voted for him.
That's it? You still have 20 hours and 12 minutes to vote, Rock.
That's just today. I'm not done yet. Did you vote?
I did.
Don't lie.
I didn't count them. I just voted until I couldn't anymore. As Brian Adams would say, until my fingers bled.
Pretty easy to vote, but you gotta type in that 5-digit code.
They want to make sure you're not a robot.
Right. Yeah, that slows the process down a bit.
It's good for your typing skills, though. Here is Chassin, a swing and a miss. He's down 0-2. Well, you did your part, Rock. Good job. Jesus appreciates it. He's getting a lot of love and a lot of support from his teammates. He is the leading vote getter in the final vote.
Yeah, we got to just pretend that he's behind, so you keep voting.
That's right. Good point. Well, so far this has been a game where more than half of the batters have reached base safely. 8 of the 15 at this point have reached base. Chassin, the 9-hole hitter, the pitcher, takes a ball down and in. Some deep counts going, a lot of men on base. The Brewers already with 3 hits. 3 hits and a walk. On the ground to Riddle. Broxton going to third. He is going to be out by a mile. Yep. And a base running blunder by Keon Broxton for the second out.
Yeah, I mean, not even close. Good play by Riddle to go to third base. They just got to stay put at second. As you see now at first base, you stay at second for the top of the order. And now it's going to take an extra base hit at least. To score Chassin. Can't do that.
Two gone, back to the top of the order in Eric Thames, who is in scoring position at the plate. If there was ever a guy to pick up a base running error, it would be Thames, who lines one right field line. That is down fair. Chassin around third is going to be held there, and Eric Thames with a double. Chassin trucking around the bags. Second and third for the Brewers with 2 outs. Thames with his second hit of the game.
Hammered that down the line. Able to keep it fair, pretty straight down that right field line. Yeah, the fastball up, able to get on top of it. That big top hand for Thames, and he rips it down the line. And just like we talked about, an extra base hit or even better is going to take the score. Chassin.
Anderson played that well in right field. So Christian Yelich now with a chance to put the Brewers back on top with a base hit. Well, what a start to this game. Pitchers beware, already 7 hits. Brewers have 4 hits, their first 10 batters. 4 hits and a walk. Yelich with a double down the left field line his first time up. Hit one sharply down that line. Hits that one sharply, and it's down, a base hit. In to score Chassin. Here comes Thames. He's in. Christian Yelich puts the Brewers right back on top. It's a 2 RBI single, and it's 3-2 Milwaukee.
How about the approach of Yelich last couple of nights? And waiting back, letting that 2-seamer travel a little bit. He's able to get on top of it, line it into center. So a couple of 2-out hits. Look at that pitch. That wasn't even a strike. Stays right on it. Able to get it off the end, kinda, and Thames able to score from second base running on contact. Well done, Christian Yelich.
He's got a good up the middle opposite field kind of stroke on right now, Yelich.
He try and pull that one. That's an easy grounder to second.
That's a big hit for the Brewers, a base running mistake, and Yelich covers it up. Now Aguilar at the plate. Jesus walked in the first. Well, just when you think you're out of an inning from a pitching perspective, Lopez has 2 outs and the pitcher running at first, but back-to-back 2-out hits. Thames and Yelich, and the Brewers are ahead 3-2. Long pause on the mound. Aguilar is going to wait it out and finally ask for it, is granted timeout.
That's amazing when good hitters hit good pitches. That last pitch from Lopez to Yelich, pretty good pitch. It was up a little bit, but it was tailing off the plate. But Christian waits back, drives it into center.
In his return to Marlins Park, he's had a good series already. Jesus has been making the rounds. A lot of media obligations for Aguilar. Trying to get his name out there in the final vote, as are most of the final vote nominees. There are 5 in each league. Gene Segura is the leader in the American League, the former Brewer shortstop with the Mariners. Final vote standings, they don't give total votes, they just give the order of those votes. Jesus Aguilar, then Brandon Belt, Muncy, Turner, and Carpenter, and then Gene Segura in the final vote in the American League. Went from the Brewers to the Diamondbacks and then to the Mariners. That'd be something to see him get a chance at the All-Star game. Tell you, the Mariners have been impressive this year. They are hanging right in there with the Houston Astros in the American League West. Astros have a 3-game lead, but Houston's won 61 games already.
Yeah.
Seattle is 57-34, 2 back in the loss column, having won 7 of their last 10. Aguilar mad at himself, let one go by.
Some would say that the American League playoff picture has already been determined.
There's one team in there that is making some noise right now that could disrupt that, the Oakland Athletics. They've won 17 of 21 games. And the A's
9 back in the division of the Astros, but they are 6 back in the wild card race. Playing great ball right now in Oakland. Yelich goes. Aguilar fouls it away.
They want to change up on a full count. He will throw any pitch at any time. Aguilar wants to make sure it was a strike. It was over the plate. Plate umpire said, yep, it was. He's very polite about it.
It's constant conversation with the umpire. Where was that pitch, sir? Timeout, please.
Yeah.
3-2. Yelich will take off again. Aguilar fouls it back.
Pays to have manners. You might get a call.
Oh, you'd love to be able to play in front of a packed house here at Marlins Park. That day will come as they start to improve. But one advantage of these sparse crowds here is you can hear everything. You can hear conversations. It's kind of a cool way to watch a game. You actually get some insider conversation out there. Sometimes a little more than we want. Earmuffs for the kids. Yelich goes. Aguilar down the left field line. That's going to hook foul. And the count will remain at 3-2, and Yelich will continue with the wind sprints.
Another breaking pitch. This one a curveball. One before that was a changeup.
With 2 strikes, he is 6th best in the National League in batting average, leading in homers in that category, RBIs, 2nd in OPS. He's done damage with 2 strikes. Yelich off again. Aguilar takes ball 4.
Another changeup.
2nd walk for Aguilar. The inning continues here. 3 consecutive base runners with 2 outs, and Juan Nieves, the former Brewer left-hander.
Pitch count starting to creep up there on Lopez a little bit. 48 as we work here in the 2nd inning. That's a tough pitch to lay off of. You know, a big guy like Aguilar, although we talked about it many times how good he is with 2 strikes. That changeup up in the zone, just a little bit too high, but he takes it. Back-to-back walks for Jesus tonight.
Visit to the mound by the Marlins pitching coach. Travis Shaw coming up with 2 on, 2 away. He's hit just 1 home run since June 6th, but Shaw remains on the Powerball home run leaderboard. He is currently 2nd on the team. Got off to such a great start this year. This is a bat the Brewers would love to see get hot. Had an RBI last night to tie the game, had an RBI in the 1st inning. That almost hit him, and that's going to skip away from Holiday. Both runners will advance. A wild pitch, 2nd and 3rd for the Brewers with 2 outs.
Trying to backhand the curveball, just not able to slide over quickly enough. Lopez missing badly by the entire width of the plate on a number of occasions tonight.
And they're going to intentionally walk Travis Shaw now. So the 4th consecutive base runner with 2 outs, and here comes Saladino. Well, you got to make him pay right now if you're the Brewers. This is the spot. You can deliver a serious blow right now in the 2nd inning. Saladino quickly gets a chance at redemption. He was up with runners at 1st and 3rd and 1 out last inning. They're loaded up with 2 away. Fastball strike. Saladino into left field, a base hit. Yelich is in. Here comes a big man trying to score, and he will score. Shaw runs into the out at 3rd, but 2 runs are in on a base hit by Tyler Saladino, a 2 RBI single, and the Brewers get 4 runs, all coming with 2 outs. It's 5-2 Milwaukee as we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Drives in a pair with 2 outs. Makes it a 4-run inning. Travis Shaw runs into the out at third base.
And good thing he slowed down a little bit. You want to have Aguilar score before they tag you out. They do that. So Travis figuring that the left fielder was going to throw it all the way in. Did not. They got the out at third, but Aguilar able to score.
5-2. Let's see if Chassin can restore some order in this game. It has been offense friendly so far. Brewers have 3 runs on the board, 5 hits, and 3 walks already. Bottom of the second, Brian Holiday, Pablo Lopez, then Derek Dietrich, 8, 9, and 1 in their order. And Chassin, who gave up 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk in the first inning. Hoping to get things moving a little quicker now. It's an early strike for Saladino, but it's a big hit. Primarily because Milwaukee has had their problems with runners in scoring position here in the last few days.
And 3 for 3 runners in scoring position in the second inning. That'll help.
One ball, 2 strikes on Brian Holiday. Had the game winner last night off Knebel. And he slaps one into right field, a base hit. Well, it looks like one of those nights, so keep on scoring.
Another fastball, another hit for the Marlins.
Which will bring up Lopez, the pitcher, likely up there to bunt.
That pitch right on the outside corner, but up a little bit. Good piece of hitting by Holiday to get the base hit.
Shows bunt early, bunts it right near the line, foul. Hey, Travis Shaw was about 30 feet from home plate when that bunt was fouled off by Lopez. Can't imagine what an infielder thinks about when he's that close to a hitter, albeit a pitcher, but he's still got a bat in his hands.
All right.
He's crashing in hard once again, and that one is taken for a ball.
Well, if you're a proficient bunter, maybe try and bunt one over the head of the third baseman. Not sure how proficient Lopez is, though.
One ball, 1 strike. Got a runner at first. Lead single. Not bunting this time. He takes a ball, and it's 2-1. You can see what Chassin's trying to do, trying to coax a bunt to the third base side. He thinks he could have a chance to get a double play out of it if you can get a bunt firmly over there to Shaw. Seeing that, though, Mattingly's taken the bunt off the last 2 pitches. And it's 3-1. That's hit sharply into left. That's a base hit. Yelich able to cut it off. It's going to be a single for the pitcher, Pablo Lopez. And the Marlins are right back at it, first and third with nobody out.
Boy, that didn't take long. Another fastball. This one right down the middle in a 3-1 count. Why not? You got the pitcher up there.
First career hit for Pablo Lopez.
There it is. Tails right back over the heart of the plate, and Lopez with a good swing on it lines it into left. And Holiday able to get to third base. Here we go again. You don't have any plans after the game, do you?
I'm glad I'm not pitching right now. Lopez had 1 career professional hit. That was in AAA earlier this year. And now he's got 2. He's got 1 in the big leagues. First and third, nobody out. Dietrich at the plate takes a strike.
Chassin last time out, 5 innings, only 3 hits allowed to the Atlanta Braves. Already 5 hits against the Marlins.
And 4 consecutive singles by the Marlins. After the Brewers just scored 4 in the second inning. Dietrich in the air, left field, slicing. Yelich will give it a look. Yelich makes the catch. Tagging at third is Holiday. The throw is cut off. And the Marlins put another one on the board. That's a sac fly for Dietrich on a foul ball. And it is 5-3. It is the first out of the inning.
Second time the Marlins have been able to drive in a run on a fly ball and foul ground in left field in this series. Not something you see every day. Holiday had one yesterday. And now Derek Dietrich.
And here is Brian Anderson. I talked to Brian before the game. We met last year. And I said, man, I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you against every team but the Brewers, of course. Got to carry on that name. He's carried it on about as well as anybody.
There's a lot of Brian Andersons in baseball.
There's a famous skateboarder by the name of Brian Anderson, the former left-handed pitcher who is now the Tampa Bay Rays analyst. And there's Brian Anderson, the former White Sox outfielder.
Right.
One ball, one strike. It's a common name, but we're all unique. And I love seeing him excel. He's having a great year. He's got a chance to win the Rookie of the Year this year in the National League. He's played 92 games. He has 101 hits. Had 2 last night, just 25 years of age.
He was playing third base when the Marlins were at Miller Park. So he's very versatile.
Out of Arkansas, Razorback. Leans out, pokes that one into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Third hit of the inning.
I mean, that was a good pitch by Chassin as well. I mean, that was a curveball down. Just kind of threw the bat out there. I mean, not much you can do about that. I mean, that's a good pitch. And Anderson just trying to shorten up and poke it just to put the bat on the baseball, and ends up with a base hit.
He is the National League leader among rookies in batting average and a lot of other categories. And he has given the Marlins another chance here. 2 on with 1 away. Starlin Castro at the plate. He walked and scored in the first. This is one of those games that you just label as hitterish. The whole game is hitterish.
Yeah, so far.
Confidence is up. Guys are up there swinging the bat.
It could turn.
12 hits already. We're in the second inning. There's a good hook in there for a strike. Marlins have 6 hits in their first 11 batters to the plate. 6 hits and a walk. Needing a double play. And a ground ball to Saladino. Oh, he dropped it. And a flip to the bag. That's bobbled. They get the out. What should have been a routine double play.
I don't know
the
about
Brewers
that
are
call.
fortunate to get one.
I'm not sure about that call at second either. It looked like Miller was bobbling the flip at second base. Looked like he missed it the first time. This should have been a double play. You're right. I mean, this is a sure double play. Wants the bobble here. Does he have it in time? I'm not sure.
I don't know. They are going to review this. They're going to challenge the Marlins, and they might have a case here.
Misses it. He's safe.
Yeah, this is going to be overturned.
Yeah.
Wow. You go from an inning-ending double play, and most likely the Marlins are going to have the bases loaded with 1 out.
This should not take very long. A bobble there, a bobble here. Tough play from Miller. He's safe.
Yeah, clearly safe.
That's not even close. I'm surprised that Tripp Gibson, the second base umpire, would give the safe call on that.
Well, the Brewers have sacrificed a lot of defense to get some offense up the middle at shortstop and second base. Saladino normally a sure-handed shortstop, but that is a huge miscue there. And this one overturned.
Yeah, no surprise there. That is a big mistake.
Everybody safe on the E6. Bases loaded, one away. And here comes Garrett Cooper, who singled sharply to right center in the first inning. And as you would imagine, Chacin starts him with a hook.
He took a fastball away from him, hit a bullet into right.
Cooper was drafted by the Brewers. He came up with Milwaukee, a 6th rounder back in 2013, and then the Brewers traded him last year to the Yankees. That was a deal for a left-handed pitcher, Tyler Webb, who didn't last long with the Brewers. There's a little half swing. He goes, and the count is 1-2.
Chacin putting a little bit more on that breaking pitch, 81 miles an hour, and get a little bit more of a check swing. Looked like more like a fastball than a curveball.
One ball, 2 strikes, the count on Cooper. And a swing and a foul tip right into the mid of Kratz for a K.
And a breaking pitch. Just got to keep throwing them. And the Marlins aren't missing too many fastballs. And right on the bottom of the strike zone, on the edge, and Cooper tried to pull it.
2 out, 2nd strikeout for Chacin. That'll bring up JT Riddle. Riddle with a single and an RBI last inning. Been a wild one here already. 2nd inning, it's 5-3. Brewers just scored 4 in the top of this inning. Marlins get a sac fly from Dietrich here in the 2nd. An error has loaded the bases. Now 2 men are out. One ball, 1 strike.
Lopez has been out on the bases a long time. See how that affects him in the top of the 3rd.
Chacin should have been out of the inning. Had a tailor-made double play ball off the bat of Castro. A lot of extra pitches here. He strikes out Cooper, now facing Riddle in a 2-1 count. Nobody feels worse than Tyler Saladino. He knows he's out there for his defense. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball. Miller. And the inning is over. Good job there by Chacin, who is able to pitch around the air, pick up his teammate. The Marlins do get a run, but it's 5-3 Brewers.
Been here about 15 games now, and I feel like he's hit 20 home runs and driven in 60 runs in just the 20 games I've been here, so that's got to be some sort of record.
Brad Miller and his teammates rallying around Jesus Aguilar. The Brewers have a 5-3 lead here at Marlins Park. As we head to the third, and Jesus Aguilar fans are showing up for him in droves in Milwaukee to get this man to the All-Star game. This was the scene this morning at Holy Moly Coffee and Donuts in Wauwatosa. The sausages were there, fans are there, and they are getting out the vote in a big way. You have until 3 p.m. Central tomorrow to continue voting for Jesus Aguilar. He is currently leading that final vote to get him to the All-Star game. And there's going to be an event tomorrow as well. Clear your calendar at Miller Park from 7 to 9 a.m. There's going to be an ice cream breakfast, and the first 500 fans will get a pair of tickets as well, courtesy of Jesus Aguilar. He really appreciates the support.
That's awesome. And as Miller bounces out on the first pitch, I mean, the Brewers are putting on quite the spread. We're going to have to go through a little exercise and fitness.
Yeah, donuts and ice cream.
This.
I tell you what, though, that gets people out, though.
Ice cream for breakfast is a solid idea. I think we might put that in play tomorrow.
I think you get a lot more people coming out for donuts and ice cream than, free salads.
Yeah, the kale smoothie's really not going over.
That's not going to work.
I'm with you.
I stay home.
Yeah, I'm in. Excellent job. I'm a big fan of Holy Moly, too. They do a great job there. That's a cool Wisconsin company. I like that one in the 3rd Ward. That's right next to the Smoke Shack. That's my spot. I hit those two.
Two pretty good spots.
Yeah,
You're
right there.
Yeah.
Now we know where we're going when we get back. Keon Broxton with one away. All right, Rock, you're in a game like this from a pitching, catching perspective. Anything you can do?
Well, you just try and find location. I mean, location for both pitchers is not very good today. Yeah, you see Lopez with pretty good movement. When he puts the ball down and in like that, he's getting that. You guys are beating it into the ground. I mean, the curveball's been up in his zone quite a bit. It's just location. There's not a whole lot a catcher can do. Maybe adjust your target. Same thing for Chassin. Well, another curveball that's just kind of spins up there in the strike zone.
So much of hitting is about confidence. And you would have to believe at this point there are a lot of confident hitters in this game. Licking their chops. Broxton able to foul it off. Keon had an infield single to start the 2nd inning, last inning.
That curveball for Lopez so slow that you really don't have to look for it. You can look fastball, adjust the curveball. You can keep the hands back and still maybe double clutch on it and get a piece of it with 2 strikes.
3-2. Broxton takes a called strike 3. Look at one on the outside corner.
That's what we're talking about, location. Putting it right on the edge. Hey, the Brewers will host the Dodgers on Sunday, July 22nd. The first 20,000 fans at the ballpark for the matchup will take home a one-of-a-kind Ryan Braun starting lineup figurine courtesy of Impark. To lock in your seats, visit Brewers.com.
That'll be a big series to start the 2nd half following the All-Star break. All-Star break is a little later this year, so we're going to play more games than normal, a few more games than normal. Baseball breaks up first half and second half based on the All-Star break. The mathematical halfway point has already been passed.
Yeah, the Brewers are going to have 98 games under their belt at the All-Star break.
Right. Yeah, 98 in the 162 game schedule. They've got a big road trip before they hit the All-Star break, which is July 16th through the 19th. The All-Star game is the 17th. This is an 8-game road trip over 7 days. And I think a lot of the Brewers personnel, council included, the manager, David Stearns, the general manager, concerned this could be a trap series and a trap road trip, meaning you're taking on the Marlins and the Pirates on the road, and you played great so far, clinging to a 1.5 game lead over the Chicago Cubs. Finished strong. It happens in every sport. Like basketball has an All-Star break as well, and usually that week leading up to the All-Star break is the most crucial.
such an emotional series. I mean, the Brewers are really locked in on that Atlanta Braves, that 4-game series that they played so well. I mean, you're right. I mean, it's not that the Brewers are overlooking the Marlins or the Pirates. You never do that. That's not the way this game is. But you know, you kind of expend a lot of energy. I think the Brewers did on that last homestand. You know, the Twins, they sweep them. They take 3 out of 4 against the Atlanta Braves. And the tendency is maybe, you know, you can only expend that kind of emotion only so long.
Kratz rolls one to third. This is Rojas, and that is a 3-up, 3-down inning, the first of the night. 5-3 Brewers. We head to the bottom of the third in Miami.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
Oh, now that looks good right there. That is a Cuban sandwich. Served up hot here at Marlins Park. Rock. You got to go make a few of those happen.
Those are awesome. Those are awesome.
I need 100 of those.
They're good down here. Wow.
I don't think they're great for you. I guess it's all about portion control.
Yeah. You get the cheese, you get the ham, the pork, pickle.
Yes.
Oh,
come on, man.
I'll see you in a minute.
We're already hungry. We're only in the bottom of the third. Chacín back on the mound. We start this third inning with Miguel Rojas at the plate. Pablo Lopez retiring the Brewers in order in the top of this third. It's been a wild start to the game. Brewers with a 4-run second, 2 RBI single by Yelich, 2 RBI single from Saladino. The RBI in the first came off the bat of Travis Shaw on a fielder's choice. Let's see if Chacín can match what Lopez just did and tidy this one up a little bit. He's already at 50 pitches through 2+ innings.
He's really shaping his breaking pitch a little bit differently. He's throwing 3 different breaking pitches. You know, different speeds, different action as it gets to home plate. He's trying to find something that's going to get some outs.
Just missed.
Quick pitch them. He'll do that every now and again.
You might have heard Rojas asking if that was legal. It is.
Pretty good pitch.
Now a quick pitch is not legal, but the quick release like Chacín does every now and then is. And he doesn't bite on the breaking ball.
As long as the guy's ready in the box, you can do anything you want out of the windup.
sure there have been many to do it before, but the first guy I ever remember to do that consistently was LaTroy Hawkins. And that little quick release. He was one of the few relievers that pitched out of the windup. There's a fastball, ate him up. Bouncer right back to the mound. There is out number 1 as Rojas is retired. Rock, we got great news today. One of our own, member of our Brewers Fox Sports Wisconsin family, has added to his family. Will Tinsley, who runs the RoboCams at Miller Park. He and his wife, Megan, welcoming in their baby, Gia Sky Tinsley.
Congratulations. Yeah, Will does our booth camera too, right?
He does. He makes us look good. Mom, baby, big sister, all doing well. Congratulations, Will. Man, a few words. Now as a father of 2. Cameron Maben takes a ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maben popped up to second base. That was a big out for Chacin in the first inning. Marlins had 2 on, and he was able to retire Rojas and Maben to get out of the inning. And then last inning, there was an error that allowed the Marlins to load the bases with 1 out. Got out of that one. Bouncing ball to third, tough play. Shaw, strong throw to get Maben at first.
You can't wait. You got to be quick with that throw. Maben runs well. And you got to know who's at the plate and their speed, and certainly Travis did. He got rid of it quickly. Good throw to first. Gets him by half a step.
Strong, accurate arm of Travis Shaw. And a big target over there at first base in Aguilar. So 2-men are out, 2 ground outs for Chacin. And here is the catcher, Brian Holiday, on the first pitch. A bouncing ball to Saladino. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. And it's 5-3 Brewers as we head to the 4th.
A 5-3 lead as we head to the 4th here at Marlins Park. Checking out our showstopper from last night, JD Martinez just continues to put together a phenomenal season in Boston. Last night, a look at his 28th home run of the season, a 3-run shot in the 8th. The Red Sox would go on to win that game 5-0, and the numbers for JD Martinez on the season are just ridiculous. 28 homers, a .328 average, 77 RBIs already. The closest to him in the American League is Edwin Encarnacion with 62 RBIs. So look there at the Major League home run leaders. JD Martinez leading the way with 28. Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Jose Ramirez as well in there, and of course our own Jesus Aguilar. He's got 23.
Phenomenal year, not just a fluke. When he went to the Arizona Diamondbacks last year, he changed the arc of that franchise for the 2017 season. They went on into the wild card game. They won that wild card game. Martinez was a big part of that, and he has kept it going in Boston this year. Red Sox are leading 5-2 tonight. Boston is trying to win their 8th straight game. They have 63 wins already. They're playing at a .685 winning percentage.
Yeah,
that
incredible.
is extraordinary in Major League Baseball. You just don't see it.
No.
Chacín leads the way for the Brewers, and the Brewer pitcher sends one in the air to third. Rojas makes a catch for out number 1.
I guess it's a matter of who's going to win the division in the East, who's going to be the wild card.
There's going to be a tough wild card pill to swallow for whoever does not win that American League East. Boston and New York are fighting it out, and they're both going to, if things continue on, they're both going to win over 100 games. There's Eric Dames, who takes a strike. Had a chat today with Ron Renicky. Rock had a nice visit with the former Brewers manager.
He's got to be happy over there in Boston.
See Eric Dames Day at the plate, presented by Wendy's. A little rollover ground ball, and there is out number 2. Yeah, Ron is the bench coach for Alex Cora with the Boston Red Sox. That's also what is interesting about the Yankees and the Red Sox. Both have first-time managers. Neither man had managed at any level. Aaron Boone of the Yankees and Alex Cora with the Red Sox. Cora was the bench coach with the Astros, so he has some dugout experience. Aaron Boone went from his playing career to the broadcast booth to the managerial seat with the New York Yankees.
And both of them will tell you it's just a matter of them staying out of the players' way. They've got pretty good ball clubs over there. But it's all about managing bullpens. That's what separates the good managers from the rest. Use of bullpen, managing that bullpen.
0-2 to Yelich. This is high. Ron Renicky's such a class act. You know, he was asking me all about the Brewers. He's been watching the team on the highlights, still roots for the Brewers, is happy for the success there, loved his time in Milwaukee. Brewers are trying to win a division for the first time since the Renicky-led Brewers of 11. Yelich strikes out. That makes it 6 in a row retired by Pablo Lopez. It's still 5-3. The World Cup semifinals continue tomorrow on Fox. Croatia against England. Coverage begins at noon Central on Fox. You can stream all the action live on the Fox Sports app. France has advanced. They beat Belgium today. 1-0.
Yeah.
So 3 are left.
1-0, huh?
I'm going with Harry Kane in England tomorrow.
1-0.
That's my call. That's soccer terminology, Rock.
On the pitch.
You gotta on the pitch. Chassin back on the mound. It is 5-3 Brewers.
Yeah, folks back in Milwaukee are getting ready for a soccer game at Miller Park.
I saw an image of the field. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
So they put turf down over the infield skin. So it's all grass. You can still kind of see where the infield is located, but turning Miller Park into a soccer pitch. Chassin trying to quick pitch Lopez. He asked for, is granted time. This is the pitcher at the plate, had a base hit, his first major league hit in the second inning. He's got an idea up there.
It's a good hack.
He had only one hit, so pitchers don't hit in the minor leagues until they get to the AA level. He wasn't there long. This guy was an A-ball last year, so he's really only started hitting at the professional level this season.
It's a nice swing.
Throws right-handed, hits lefty. And he draws a walk. Yikes. Never good. Lead-off walks, especially lead-off walks to pitchers.
Yeah, and Chassin's just a little out of sorts. He had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the third. It seems to me that he's foregoing a little velocity for a little bit more movement as this game is going on. He did that in the third inning. The fastball really moving a lot, 90, 91 miles an hour. He's throwing a couple of different breaking pitches, just trying to keep this Marlins offense a little off balance.
Now he deals with Derek Dietrich with a runner at first and a line drive into right center. Thames a long way to go. Lopez will turn and head to third. Dietrich on his way to second. The throw comes in and out at second base. Dietrich runs into an out on a perfect throw from Eric Thames.
Yeah, that's a big league play right there by the right fielder. Yeah, Thames got to it quickly and threw a strike into second base. First pitch fastball 90 up in the zone. That's not where you want it. Got rid of it quickly, right on the money, and they're able to get him. That's a heck of a play by Eric Thames.
Chassin needed that one, says way to go. Eric Thames, single for Dietrich, but cut down at second. His second assist of the year. Runner at third now with one away. Here's Brian Anderson. First ball swinging, grounded to short. And Saladino with a low throw dug out by Aguilar. The run will score. It is a one-run game, but now 2 outs and the base is empty. And that leadoff walk coming back to bite Chassin quickly.
Well, you can tell Craig Counsell what he thinks about what's going on tonight. He's figuring big offense tonight, so he's thinking, I'm going to play the infield back. I don't want a little flare over the infield to give the Marlins a huge inning. Ordinarily, in a normal scenario, you might see Counsell bring the infield in, try to cut that runoff. Not tonight.
Well, last night notwithstanding, Counsell knows getting a lead into the 5th or 6th inning is usually a recipe for a victory this season with his great bullpen. Brewers gave up a rare late lead last night. Buckled the knees of Castro in there for strike one. High fly ball to center. That'll be routine for Broxton. And that will retire the side. A leadoff walk. And the Marlins are within a run now. It's 5-4 Brewers.
Aguilar into right field. He's watching. It's flying. It's gone. A home run to win it.
He's had some big moments this year. He is producing like an MVP. Should have been an afterthought to get him to the All-Star game, but he needs your help. 19 hours and change to get those votes in. Just keep voting as often as you can. Aguilar the front runner in the final vote of the 5 finalists. Brewers have 3 All-Stars currently. Josh Hader, a first-time All-Star. Jeffress and Yelich. That's a foul ball, a roof scraper. It's going to end up in the second row.
That was close.
I think it went up and through one of those support beams. A big league pop-up, as they say, but that was a foul ball. He'll have another swing. Yeah, Lorenzo Cain, second-time All-Star. First is a Brewer, of course, and then you have Yelich, who is making his first trip to the Midsummer Classic. Could make a strong case for Jeremy Jeffress as well.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, with that 1 earned run average.
There is still a chance for Jeffress to make the team with injuries and whatnot. Matter of fact, today Ross Stripling, an all-star reliever in the National League, was placed on the disabled list, so there is a spot available. Figure Adam Ottavino and Jeremy Jeffress are going to be the front runners to replace Stripling. Jeremy Jeffress has put together an all-star year. These are gaudy numbers.
Yeah, and you know, that doesn't even include on that list, you know, the inherited runners that he's been able to strand this year.
Aguilar pops this one up. Back in the grass is the shortstop Riddle for out number 1.
Jeremy stranded a couple yesterday. Only 8 of 33 inherited runners have scored with Jeffress on the mound. That's saving a lot of runs. Saving earned runs for the guy he takes over for, let alone his own earned runs.
Yeah, the closer for the starters is what Craig Counsell calls him, and Jeffress has pitched well enough to make the All-Star team. Still might happen. Should happen. He was so disappointed that he was not selected by either the players or the manager. Dave Roberts and A.J. Hinch are the All-Star managers. Astros, Dodgers last year in the World Series. 2-0 to Travis Shaw. 2-1.
Change up. It's been a good pitch for him tonight.
Lopez has settled it down now. He's retired 7 in a row. Shaw ran into an out at third base in the second inning. That was after Saladino had driven in 2 with a single. There's another change. And it's 2-2 now.
Yeah, good arm action on that pitch. Tail as it gets to the hitting zone.
Two and 2 the count. Shaw rolls over one. Another change, and oh, he dropped the ball. Lopez. Shaw is safe at first. That's a routine play, but Lopez took his eye off it at the last moment, trying to find first base, and missed it.
Yep, that was a good throw. Good flip by Cooper. That'll be an E1. They do everything right, but Lopez not able to catch the baseball. Good flip right off the end of the glove, and Travis Shaw able to reach.
Figure that's got to be an error on the pitcher. 1 out base runner, a gift by the Marlins. Here is Tyler Saladino, who drove in a couple of runs with a single in the second. That's been the last hit for the Brewers. That was a big hit for Milwaukee. It was early. A second inning 2 RBI single usually doesn't register as a game changer, but certainly could be. Brewers stranded a couple of runners in the first inning, and then Saladino delivered with 2 outs in the second to cap off a 4-run inning.
All the runs come with 2 outs.
Hit sharply, backhanded Riddle, fires to second, out there, throw to first, not in time. Boy, was that a good play. This guy can really pick at it short. Been impressed with JT Riddle.
And good balance, able to get off a good throw over to Castro, and he almost was able to turn a double play.
That left the bat of Saladino, and he's thinking he's got to hit it to left field, but Riddle with great range.
Look at the balance. I mean, he's up, and that throws on its way to second base very quickly. That's the tough part of that play. Spinning around, throwing a strike to second base, and then Castro nearly able to turn it.
He's had a couple of nice plays tonight. 2 men are out for Brad Miller. You got to have a touch of fearlessness in you as a shortstop making a throw like that. That could easily go into right field. And then the wheels are in motion. Especially as firm as he threw that ball. 2 gone. Brewers with a runner at first, and there he goes. Saladino takes off, swing and a miss. Saladino is out. Holiday catches another one, trying to steal. He is a tremendous thrower. And Saladino is cut down. The Brewers do want to have a quick look at this just to make sure. We'll look along with you.
And not a very good jump. Average speed and throw on the money. That's not even close.
And no challenge coming. Inning is over. A caught stealing to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 5-4 Brewers.
Appreciation for all military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Jhoulys Chacín back to work here in Miami. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Brewers with a 5-4 lead. A lot of activity early in this game. Marlins have chipped away. They got 1 in the 2nd. Added another in the 4th to cut it within 1. Chacín facing the middle of this Miami order with Garrett Cooper, JT Riddle, and Miguel Rojas starting it off. Cooper was having a monster year in the Brewers minor league system last season at AAA Colorado Springs before he was traded to the Yankees. And a swing and a miss. Chacin gets him on a K. Second time that Chacin has struck out Cooper. It's his third. As we check in with Sophia.
It's an off day for Lorenzo Cain. Keon Broxton manning center field tonight, and I talked to Lorenzo before the game. He said everything feels good with that left groin, and Craig Counsell said this was just part of the plan, is that with Cain coming off of the disabled list, he felt that his first day back Sunday he did a lot of running out in the outfield, and then last night with Lorenzo Cain he said he did a lot of running on the bases. So Counsell said he just wanted to give him the day off and give him the day off his legs, even though Cain always does not want that day off. He'll fight manager Craig Counsell on that every time. But Counsell said just a maintenance day for Cain.
And that's a good idea. I mean, you know, the Brewers have a busy week ahead of them with the doubleheader on Saturday. No days off until the break. And look for Craig Counsell to give a lot of these guys maybe a day off here and there. And when you're coming back from an injury like that groin injury, if you get a little bit of fatigue in you and then you kind of start really quickly, you might pop that injury again.
Well, with so much talent on the bench, it's easier for a manager to do that, because you're certainly not losing anything defensively with Broxton in center field. He is a superb outfielder, and you're hoping he can get hot. Broxton's the kind of guy that can carry a team like he did in Cincinnati, that 4 RBI game. He'll go through his struggles at the plate. Not the consistent hitter that Lorenzo Cain is by any stretch, but he's got a lot of pop in his bat. He is a worthy backup. So an opportunity to play Broxton, try to keep him going a little bit, and give Cain a breather after 2 days on the field.
There's an awful lot of room to cover out there in center field, and nobody better to do it than Broxton.
And Broxton has already cut off 2 balls that for most would be through the gap into the wall. Those are game-changing plays that don't show up in the box score. 1-2 the count. 2 men are out. Rojas, a little flare right out to Saladino, and that will retire the side. Chacin has settled in. That's his best inning yet. 3 up, 3 down. 5-4 Brewers.
Holding on to a 1-run lead, 5-4, as we head to the 6th. Then coming up on Saturday, August 4th, fans at Miller Park can enter a special raffle to win the jersey off of a player's back immediately after the Brewers game against the Rockies. The players will also sign the jersey before giving it to their respective winner. The tickets are $5 each, and the proceeds will help support the Aurora Healthcare Abuse Response programs.
All right, Sophia, good stuff. Thank you for that. Here we go to the 6th inning at Marlins Park in Miami. It is 5-4 Milwaukee. Brad Miller leads off. He's 0 for 2 tonight. As wild as it was early, this game has settled in somewhat. Only 1 run's been scored in the last 3 innings. Brewers have been held scoreless by the rookie Pablo Lopez.
And pitchers have done a much better job locating. Down in the zone on the corners. Lopez, who came in with reputation of the big curveball, it's been the changeup, the good secondary pitch for him tonight.
And he gets Miller on a high fastball. Strikeout number 5 for Lopez.
They tried to climb the ladder on him, and that's way up. That's about shoulder high. Didn't mean to, couldn't hold up.
One away in the inning. Keon Broxton now. Pablo Lopez in the 2nd inning, after giving up 4 runs, is up over 50 pitches, and you're thinking he might not last through the 2nd. And here he is still pitching in the 6th inning. And the way you talk about the poise of this 22-year-old rookie, it shows up in games like this. This reminds me of the game that Freddie Peralta pitched in Cincinnati, where it looked like he was going to have a quick exit. And even though the line looks bad, 5 earned runs in 5 1/3 thus far, these are valuable innings that he is eating up. 1 game leading to the next, of course.
He's learned a lot about himself. I mean, the ability to get it back after a rough start.
Broxton into right. That is a fair ball. Anderson makes a catch for out number 2. You see the projected starter, courtesy of Verizon, Freddie Peralta. In his first inning, a 6 ERA. A 1.30 earned run average the rest of the game. He'll get the ball tomorrow for the Brewers.
He's sitting in that dugout watching Chassin have some success with the breaking pitch. Question is, how good will the curveball be for Freddie tomorrow? He's had some starts where that pitch has been a real good one.
2 outs for Eric Kratz and a swing and a miss. We saw a former Brewer who now works for the Brewers in the front office, Carlos Villanueva, today. And we talked to Villa a lot about Freddie Peralta. He's been working with him, talking to him, and reiterated what you just said, that curveball has been a key pitch for him. There was always that next step for Peralta, who had come from the Mariners organization. Always had a great fastball that is elusive, but that only plays so long without that secondary pitch, and he's found this curveball, and boy, has he ever given the Brewers a lift out of their minor league system. Brewers have 2 of their prize prospects here right now, and Peralta and Corbin Burns. Burns still awaiting his major league debut, which will come any day now, you would think.
Man, it's been a while for him. He's probably just chomping at the bit to get in there.
Couldn't see him today.
You don't want to sit down in that bullpen too long. Those nerves start to creep in a little bit.
1-2 to Eric Kratz. And down he goes. A strikeout to end the inning. Pablo Lopez has faced the minimum since the 2nd inning. Brewers still lead, however. Yeah, good point, Dario. Thanks. The Phillies certainly staking their claim in this National League East. Got the Braves, the Phillies, the Nationals have been the big disappointment, but you figure there is a surge in there somewhere. They're too talented.
Everybody keeps saying that. It hadn't happened yet.
Jhoulys Chacín back on the mound. He's got a 1-run lead. At the bottom of the order coming up here in the 6th inning. Cameron Maybin leads the way in a swing and a foul. This would be a swing inning here for Chacín if he could get through it. Very similar to Pablo Lopez. It looked like it was going to be an early exit for Chacín, but he has settled down. He's coming off his best inning, a 3-up, 3-down 5th. On the ground to short. Nice easy hop. Saladino takes care of Maybin for out number 1. And that is 6 in a row retired by Chacín. Brewers have Dan Jennings, the former Marlin. A left-hander loosening in the bullpen. Figure he would have a matchup with Dietrich.
Yeah, Jennings has been very good as of late. Chacín has settled down, as has Pablo Lopez. Going for more movement as opposed to a little extra on the fastball.
It's a savvy pitcher, right? Most pitchers are enamored, especially young pitchers, enamored with velocity and the radar gun readings. Chacín normally pitches in the low 90s, so he's a 92, 93 guy. Can get it up there to 94 on occasion, but we've seen a lot of 90-mile-an-hour sinkers from him.
Big sink. He'll cut it once in a while. He's throwing 2 or 3 different breaking pitches.
Gets one in on Holiday for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
That more the slider-like breaking pitch right there. Haven't seen a whole lot of the curveball since the early going today.
Quick release. Holiday fouls it back. And looking ahead to the Marlins lineup, you got a pinch hitter coming up next. Yadiel Rivera, the former Brewer. Looks like he'll hit next. And then if it gets back to the top of the order in Derek Dietrich, that's when you might see Dan Jennings at that point.
Remember, as this game goes on, they have some pretty good pop on the bench. We got Justin Bour available, got Martin Prado.
Big piece that's missing for the Marlins is JT Realmuto. He is away from the team on paternity leave. All-star catcher. One of the bright young stars in the game, actually. Full count to Holiday. This is a big hitter for Chacín to retire. Could change the plan the rest of this inning. And that one's on the ground. Right to Saladino again. 2 up and 2 down. 2 6-3 ground outs for Jhoulys Chacín.
Yeah, getting really good sink lately. Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Resch Lanes in Wittenberg, if they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern Lake of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
It's the humidity here, Rock.
I was thinking the same thing. That's scary. Yeah, it's tough on the hair, isn't it?
I mean, I like it. It's a good look. Yadiel Rivera announced as the pinch hitter. Spent a lot of years in the Brewers system, had a couple of pops in the big leagues, but nothing significant.
It's good to get Lopez's bat out of the lineup, huh?
Yeah, right. The Marlins pitcher was 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
Yeah, no kidding.
He was a tough out. Rivera as a pinch hitter. 6 hits, 22 at-bats. Does have a couple of RBIs. And this pinch hit appearance right here means he has been the most oft-used pinch hitter for Don Mattingly. It's good to see him in the big leagues. He has a big league glove. There's no question about that. There's a lot of teams that like Rivera, always in conversations, in trade discussions. And he's getting a good chance here in the majors with the Marlins in a rebuild.
It's always been the bat. He can pick it. Big arm.
2-1 the count on Rivera. 3-1 now. Well, Chacín knows he is up against it. Marlins with activity in their bullpen as well. Adam Conley is the lone lefty. And Rivera draws the walk. 2 out walk. And now the left-hander Dietrich coming up, and now decision time for Craig Counsell.
Boy, that number 9 spot in the batting order has been a tough out for Chacín tonight.
And here he comes. He is not messing around. He will play matchup. And Chacín, a batter away from getting through 6 innings, is going to exit after 5 2/3. So Dan Jennings, who has been lights out, will head out to face the left-hander Dietrich as of now. We'll see if Mattingly counters. Pitching change at Marlins Park. Miller Park, Milwaukee. You can come see some of the world's top soccer players tomorrow night. CF Pachuca taking on Club Leon. International soccer match presented by Aurora Healthcare. Tickets start at just $15. Go to brewers.com/soccer. That's going to be a great time. Make sure you go check it out at Miller Park. They've renovated the field. They put the turf down on the infield skin, and it is a soccer pitch at Miller Park. Situation here is a pitching change. Dan Jennings will play matchup with Derek Dietrich. 2 outs and a runner at first base in the 6th inning.
Yeah, last pitch on Sunday against the Braves. Scoreless inning. You have a hit, struck out a couple of batters. He's done a good job with inherited runners. Only 5 of 23 have been able to score. 43rd appearance, 322 earned run average. Slider's been a good pitch for him lately.
Dietrich swinging the bat well. Might be one of the reasons Mattingly lets it ride here with him. He does have Martin Prado on the bench and Chad Wallach as 2 right-handed options. But Dietrich has 2 hits and a sac fly. He swung the bat well against lefties this season. Pretty good numbers. 242 against lefties. 3 of his 11 homers have come against left-handed pitching.
Josh Hader struck him out last night.
And a double and a run scored in the 1st, drove in a run with a sacrifice in the 2nd, and then singled in the 4th. On the ground, jam shot. Saladino cuts it off. The shift was on, and the inning is over. Jennings does his job, gets through it, strands a runner, and we're on our way to the 7th inning in a 5-4 Brewer lead. 18 hours 43 minutes to vote for Jesus Aguilar, and the final vote for the MLB All-Star Game. Vote Jesus. We believe in Jesus. Brewers leading in homers at 119, second, I beg your pardon, to the Dodgers. They have 119 this year on the Powerball home run count. Jesus Aguilar is the National League leader with 23. And this is not a ballpark. Matter of fact, this is not a road trip where you figure you're going to be able to rely on the home run ball. Marlins Park and PNC Park in Pittsburgh. So here we go to the 7th inning now, and left-hander Adam Conley is on the pitch. Nate Orff will hit for Dan Jennings. So a bat off the bench for Craig Counsell. The Brewers are playing with a 5-man bench here tonight.
Conley last pitched on the 8th against Washington. 2 scoreless innings that included 4 punch-outs. Conley used to be a starting pitcher for the Marlins. Nearly no-hit the Brewers at Miller Park a couple of years ago.
Only lefty in the Marlins pen. And Nate Orff pinch hitting in this 7th inning. Chacin's night is in the books. 5 2/3, gives up 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. He is in line for the win, which would be Chacin's 8th of the season if the Brewers can hang on. Pablo Lopez tonight goes 5 innings. Beg your pardon, 6 innings with 6 Ks, giving up 5 earned runs.
Yeah, both pitchers did a good job of turning things around tonight.
Center fielder Mabrin for out number 1. Marlins pitching has retired or faced the minimum. There was an error mixed in there, but faced the minimum since the beginning of the 3rd inning.
Well, this is why Conley's in the ball game. He can go multiple innings. He's got the next 3 of the next 4 hitters are left-handed.
And the leadoff man, Eric Dames, with Yelich due next. Eric Dames has had a good night tonight. 2 hits. He scored twice. He has an outfield assist in the game. Dames pushing over that 250 mark. Batting average at 257 now with his 2 hits tonight. 13 homers. He missed 41 games with surgery on his thumb, his left thumb. A swing and a miss. Conley strikes him out for out number 2. Tough matchup for Thames.
Yeah, pretty good sliders, all 3 of them, as Jeremy Jeffress is starting to get loose in that Brewers bullpen. And Jeffress pitched yesterday, inning in the 3rd. Up at it again tonight.
A stress-free 2nd inning after he came in and got out of a jam for the starter Chase Anderson. Went 1-2-3 in his 2nd inning. Yelich takes a ball. Christian Yelich is 2 out of 3 tonight. He drove in a pair with a single in the 2nd inning, part of a 4-run inning. Yelich with 2 hits yesterday in his return to Marlins Park. He has another multi-hit game here tonight. 1st inning double, 2nd inning 2 RBI single.
Yeah, both hits come in, opposite field. That one into center. Both pitches tailing away from stayed right on him nicely.
1 ball, 1 strike. Yikes. Big fastball from Conley. Another one in there, almost hit him. Missed with a breaking ball that time. Three balls and a strike on Christian Yelich. 2 men are out here in the 7th inning. Yelich hanging in there. The big man due next. Yelich would love to give Aguilar a swing in this 7th inning against a lefty. Full count, going back with a fastball. And Yelich, jam shot out to second. 1-2-3 inning for Conley. Stretch time in Miami. Brewers clinging to a 1-run lead. Can they close it out tonight? We're headed to the bottom of the 7th. A 4-run 2nd inning. Tyler Saladino had the big hit in that inning. He and Christian Yelich. Yelich had a 2 RBI single, then Saladino driving in 2 with 2 outs. Our Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game.
Yeah, good thing Aguilar was hustling all the way to home plate. Had he not scored yet and Shaw got tagged out, this would be a tie game.
Jeremy Jeffress on the pitch. He'll have the heart of this Miami batting order. Brian Anderson, Starlin Castro, Garrett Cooper coming up.
And nothing but right-handers do, but Justin Bohr on the bench. Big, powerful left-handed hitter.
Strong numbers this year by Jeffress. Don't see much by way of ERA in a reliever, or count much by way of ERA. But for Jeremy Jeffress, who inherits a ton of runners and has stranded a ton of runners this year, he gets a clean inning to start.
Of 8 of 33, he's been able to strand. 2 last night. Jeremy was in the game in the 5th inning.
Anderson could not get through 5. He was sweating up a storm on the mound, had a high pitch count. 96 pitches through 4 2/3. But Jeffress did his job and was able to get through his portion of the game with the Brewers still in the lead. And then this guy at the plate, Brian Anderson, homered off Josh Hader to give Miami the lead back. On the ground, that's going to get through, a base hit.
0-2. Split change up in the strike zone. Guy's a good looking hitter. Shorten it up. We've seen him shorten up to 2 strikes a couple of times. And once on a Chassin curveball, he dumped into center field. Now a split change that was up in the zone. On an 0-2 pitch, able to get a base hit.
His 2nd hit of the night, has an RBI ground out as well. And here is Starlin Castro.
guys just single you to death, don't they? They've been doing a real good job tonight of putting the ball in play even with 2 strikes. All their hits singles tonight, except that leadoff double by Dietrich to start the game.
7 consecutive singles of the 8 hits. Starlin Castro has been a hot hitter, but he does bounce into a lot of double play balls. Jeffers would love to get one right here. He's grounded into 11 double plays this year. Should have bounced into a double play in the 2nd inning. Brewers could not turn it. The 1-1 outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike.
Curveball, split changes. Trying to stay away from the fastball from these guys. I don't blame them.
Starlin Castro hit a fastball from Hader out yesterday. That tied the game. That was an 11 pitch at bat yesterday. Looked like Hader had struck him out on pitch number 10. Did not get the call, and then Castro didn't miss pitch number 11. That's a good fastball. Kind of ate up Aaron Kratz behind the plate, though, and he doesn't get the call.
Yeah, right on the edge. Haven't seen too many low strikes called tonight. He's been consistent with it.
3 balls and a strike on Castro. Has the kind of pop that could give the Marlins the lead quickly. For 6 with a strikeout against Jeremy Jeffers. Trying to add 1 more to that. Strike.
There's a call right on the bottom of the zone. Maybe I should have said that earlier tonight.
Mike McClensky heard you.
He did. That hasn't been called too much tonight.
Former hits leader at the plate in Castro. Jeffers with a runner at first. 3-2 the count. Anderson goes, swing and a miss. Throw to second is on the bag and in time. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
And
2 big outs.
Good pick by Miller out there at second base. The throw short hopped. Miller able to pick it, but still able to get the tag down on Brian Anderson. Fastball away. Check it out. Good job by Brad Miller to get the out. Strike him out, throw him out. Well done.
Base is empty now. 2 away for Garrett Cooper. Cooper's had a tough time with the breaking ball. Chacin struck him out twice with it after he singled and drove in a run in the 1st inning on a fastball. No. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Boy, Jeffers is oiled up and ready to go. This guy has a loose arm.
It's amazing. After an inning and 1/3 yesterday, he didn't have that many pitches, but still multiple innings, still able to get that fastball up 98 miles an hour.
Loves this weather, the humidity. 96 that time, and Kratz missed it. That looked like a strike as well, but Kratz is having a tough time with Jeffers, who's missing location, but it's tough to handle going across the plate like that.
I think Cooper's looking breaking pitch. I mean, last 2 fastballs were hittable. He takes them.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the inning. Brewers lead 5-4 in the 7th. Jeffers deals. Put it right by him. High fastball at 96.
3 in a row.
Still a chance for Jeffers to make the All-Star team. With injuries, he would be among the first selections for a replacement. There's been 1 injury already. Ross Stripling of the Dodgers on the disabled list. He's pitched like an All-Star this year, trying to get this last out. Dan Jennings got out of the jam in the 6th inning, retiring Dietrich. Now Jeffress here in the 7th. See what he gives him on a 2-2 pitch. Fastball just missed. Full count. Game face is on. 3-2, 2 outs. Base hit. You're right, Rock. He was sitting on off speed the entire at bat.
Yeah.
Finally gets one.
Yeah, think about how many close fastballs he took. And there were a couple of pitches with 2 strikes that you would think a guy that's a good fastball hitter is going to offer at. He does not. He takes them. They're called balls. He finally gets the curveball a little up in the zone, and he hits it hard up the middle. That's risky.
So the tying run is on. And here is JT Riddle now. One of the things that makes Jeffress especially effective is his ability against left-handed hitters. He's a 3-pitch pitcher. And against lefties, he breaks out this split change, which might be his best off-speed pitch. Tying run at first. Go ahead, run at the plate. JT Riddle. And there's a strike.
Hadn't thrown a split change since he threw one to Anderson for the base hit.
How about those numbers? 140 batting average against the left-handed hitters, who supposedly have the favorable matchup, but not the case with Jeffress. And that pitch right there is the complement to the split change, right? He can run that fastball back in on the plate. Looks like it's going to hit you when it comes out of his hand.
It ended up right down the middle.
What a year he's having.
Let's see if he can bounce the split change right here.
Shaken off a few times. He's got the one he wants. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Went back to the fastball, and Riddle is late. Hitting in a 3rd yesterday. Pitch count starting to creep up there right now for Jeremy Jeffress. This will be number 21 of the inning. 1-2 the count. Here it comes, and a bouncing ball. Saladino right there, and that will retire the side. Jeremy Jeffress delivers again. We're on our way to the 8th inning. The big man, Jesus Aguilar, ready to lead off. Brewers by a run.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world.
Big man, big personality, big numbers this year. Jesus Aguilar. And he is ready to lead off for the Brewers in this 8th inning. 5-4. Brewers have the lead. Aguilar, Shaw, and Saladino. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. That is Javi Guerra, new pitcher for the Marlins in the game.
Yeah, we saw him last night. Inning in the 3rd, scoreless. Gave up a hit, struck out a couple of batters.
Brewers would love to put some insurance on the board. They had a 1-run lead late last night, gave it away, which has not happened often this year. Guerra pitched last night with that 1 hit allowed, a couple of punch outs, 17 pitches. And Don Mattingly's got him back in there again tonight, sensing his offense has a comeback in him. No balls, 2 strikes. The Brewers will wrap up this series with the Marlins tomorrow, and then they go to Pittsburgh. That's a 4-day, 5-game series with a doubleheader Saturday, leading to the All-Star break. Key road trip after the Brewers went 6-1 on the last homestand.
Did you see who's warming up in the Brewers bullpen? Corbin Burns.
Corbin Burns.
That would be a heck of a debut, wouldn't it?
Some of the nastiest stuff in the Brewers minor league system. This
1-run game in the 8th.
It'll be his major league debut when he does pitch, and it looks like Counsell's going to play that card next. This will be interesting. And so in the meantime, the Brewers offense would love to give him a little breathing room.
Yeah.
We saw Corbin Burns in spring training, and there is no doubt that stuff plays.
Yeah.
It was electric.
Throw him right in the fire.
1-2 the count, up and in. 2-2 on Aguilar. Javi Guerra starts his 8th inning. Aguilar trying to get it going for the Brewers. Right off the end of the bat, right to the pitcher. And that'll be out number 1. Aguilar 0 for 2. Well, Jesus has been in the limelight with the final vote. He offers up this thank you to Brewers fans.
Like, wow, there's a lot of people like support me right now. You know, I feel great. It's a great feeling. Family happy too. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be like. I already win, I think. You know, I got that support. I got all that kind of stuff. And I just got to say thank you to everybody for that support. And if we win, I'm blessed. But if not, I feel like I'm winning already.
Great comments right there from Jesus Aguilar. Obviously, English is his second language, and to be able to articulate that, and that's great. He's very appreciative.
Great attitude, yep.
And he wins already, he says, with all the support that he's gotten. He's having an MVP caliber season. Got a feeling he's going to make his way to the All-Star game. But you don't know, so keep voting.
Yeah, pretend like he's behind.
Aguilar is 0 for 2 with 2 walks today. Shaw had an RBI in the 1st inning. He is 0 for 2. He's 0 for 2, but he's been on base all 3 times at the plate. Reached on a fielder's choice, stole a base in the 1st after his RBI, was intentionally walked in the 2nd, and then he reached on an error in the 5th. Well, it would appear that Corbin Burns is ready to make his major league debut in the bottom of the 8th. Loosening in the bullpen.
He'll be dealing with the bottom half of the Marlins batting order. Jeremy Jeffers dealt with the top of the order.
Under the watchful eye of Lee Tunnell, bullpen coach, longtime big league pitcher. Full count to Shaw. Brewers lead by a run here in the 8th. Travis Shaw in the air to right field, got a chance. Anderson is back, he looks up, and it's gone. Insurance for the Brewers in the 8th as Travis Shaw goes deep. Home run number 16 for Travis Shaw makes this a 6-4 Milwaukee lead.
Well, able to get on top of a high pitch and knock it on out of here off the facing second deck out and right. Check it out. There it was. Look at a breaking pitch that was up, middle in, and Travis did the rest. Knocked it on out of here. There's your insurance run.
Off the facing of the second deck out at deep right, Travis Shaw. That's a big hit, big homer right there for the Brew Crew.
A hanger from Javi Guerra, and he gives the Brewers a 2-run lead.
Shaw starting to get it cranked up once again. That one's in the air deep into center field. Saladino sends Maben to the track. Any other ballpark, he's got a chance at a home run. That's a long, loud out here at Marlins Park.
There's a lot of room out there.
2 gone. Here comes Brad Miller. Shaw went a month without homering and now has hit 2 in the last 4 days. That's a good sign. Shaw, when he gets it heated up, he can carry an offense. We've seen that from him in the past. Had a great start to the season.
At bats are becoming more consistent, making better contact. Usually starts with walks with a lot of guys, and it did with Travis Shaw. Started in the last homestand.
No balls, 2 strikes on Brad Miller. Brewers get a much needed run here. They lead by 2. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Miller at the plate and takes a ball, a breaking ball from Guerra. Now Brewers fans have heard a lot about Corbin Burnes. He has emerged as their #1 pitching prospect. Minor league pitcher of the year last year. Splitting time between A ball and AA. Dominated both levels last season. Has a live arm.
Yes, he does. Throws hard, got some movement on it.
2-2 the count on Miller. Chased one. A strikeout to end it. Travis Shaw gives Burnes a little insurance. A major league debut is coming. The Brewers' top pitching prospect, Corbin Burnes, on his way to the mound at Marlins Park.
Craig Counsell throwing his young prospect right into the fire. Corbin Burns. And the numbers are not great from AAA this season, but a lot of those earned runs coming in home games in Colorado Springs. The Brewers have seen enough out of Corbin Burns to believe he is not just an effective reliever, but an effective late game high leverage reliever.
Right, and has the you know, the mental makeup to be able to handle a major league debut with a 2-run lead on the road in the 8th inning. Kind of a surprise, but this is where we're at. You know, fastball, curveball, slider. He throws an occasional changeup, a split change, and he's got the bottom half of the Marlins order coming up.
The Brewers moved him into the bullpen down in AAA to prepare for relief appearances, mostly to learn how to get ready quickly. And his first pitch, as you would expect, sails back to the screen. First pitch in the big leagues.
96 miles an hour.
Corbin Burns on the big league mound for the first time. He's got Rojas, Maven, and Holiday. And puts that fastball right by him at 95. Jonathan VR enters the game to play second base, so Miller is out. The Brewers tighten up defensively. Miller making the final out of the 8th inning. That is a double switch. Counsell might want to try to get a couple of innings out of Burns if he's dominant here. You never know. He's here to pitch multiple innings per outing. That's one of the reasons why the Brewers wanted to get him into the bullpen in AAA, to get him used to the quick call, preparing for relief outings. There was an entire process to get him to the point where he could be called up and used in the major leagues. And I'm talking about the warm-up process.
And all that, and it really never does prepare you for your major league debut. Slider right there at 90. Well, we've been talking about fastballs against this Marlins club. They can hit the fastball. Let's see if Burns is going to be able to throw some breaking pitches for strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Miguel Rojas the batter, and he fouls one away. Career numbers in the minor leagues are strong for Burns, especially last season when he earned the Brewers minor league pitcher of the year. Has emerged quickly. He was just drafted in 2016. Here in the big leagues, 2018. 2-2 the count. On the ground to short. Saladino ranges over. Nice easy hop. Out number 1.
There you go. Get that first out. That's going to calm him down a little bit. Almost airmailed the first pitch, but was able to get himself together and throw some strikes. Well done. Another youngin.
Yeah, 23 years of age. You got the 22-year-old Freddie Peralta. These are the 2 pitchers that the Brewers are hoping are going to be part of their future. Peralta has shined in the big leagues already. Would that be what you'd call a spiked curveball, Rock?
Yeah, just a bit low.
Line shot to center. Broxton is there as Cameron Maven hits it right on the button.
Threw a 50-foot curveball and then just threw a fastball, got the out.
2 outs. Let's check in with Sophia.
Well, before you were talking about that process that Corbin Burns has gone through, going from starter to reliever, and General Manager David Stern said earlier this week when he was called up on Sunday that Corbin has really embraced that process. Stern said he's done a tremendous job in relief, doing this for the first time as a professional. He did work in relief a little bit in college at St. Mary's College, but Stern said just in terms of altering his routine, how he prepares for games, how he recovers between appearances, they felt that this was the right time. He did make 6 relief appearances in AAA, and Stearns also went out of his way to say, you know, he was drafted in 2016. He has had success at each level. He's accelerated his development at each level. So he said really this is the best case scenario for a prospect to have them jump into the big leagues this soon.
All right, Sophia, thanks. And a swing and a miss. There's a nasty slider. That's his go-to pitch.
Good pitch.
And he's got Holiday 0-2. Corbin Burnes, 2 outs in the 8th. Trying to make it 3 up, 3 down. Got a chance at his first big league strikeout as he deals, and a bouncing ball foul. Burnes started his professional career at a very high level. He moved quickly from the Arizona Rookie League into the Midwest League his first year. College pitcher that was in a high level A-ball league in his first season. That was 2016, and then he split time between A-ball and AA last year, AAA this year. A swing and a miss, his first major league strikeout, and Burnes in his big league debut retires the side in order. A strong 8th inning by Corbin Burnes. Welcome to the big leagues. 6-4 Milwaukee. We go to the 9th. Here tonight, first 5 batters in the batting order in those first 2 innings reached base 9 times. So here we go to the 9th, and Keon Broxton ready to lead off. A most impressive debut by Corbin Burnes. Wow. I mean, you talk about a shot of adrenaline, and look at this crowd in the dugout. The Brewer players greeting Corbin Burnes after his 3 up, 3 down 8th inning, and that'll be his only inning tonight. Corey Knebel is loosening in the bullpen.
Man, just a terrific appearance for him after almost throwing one onto the backstop his first pitch, able to get things together and put up a 3 up, 3 down inning. That was impressive, that breaking pitch.
Do a couple of sliders at 90 miles an hour. Well, he'll never forget this day.
Yeah.
Jacob Nottingham had his first major league hit yesterday. Corbin Burnes with his first game in the big leagues tonight.
How good does he feel right now?
Broken bat, little flare to right. Anderson will ease over, and Broxton is retired. Tell you what, Rock, you look at the Brewers system, it is producing some serious talent.
All these guys that have come up, they've all done a good job. And guys going up and down and not staying very long, and great counsel getting the most out of every one of them, putting them in positions to succeed. Having Burnes come in 8th inning, bottom of the order coming up. That's just good managing.
Then Meyer deals. Kratz down the line. That's a fair ball. Kratz on his way to second with a double. Had a great reaction on his way to first base. And they're saying save that ball. Eric Kratz finally gets off the schneid and both hands in the air as soon as it landed in fair territory.
Man, it's been a struggle for him. Pitch down and in.
Kratz was over his last 23 and fist in the air. Who is that? It's Jimmy Nelson saying, get that ball, save that ball.
His teammates know all about it, and they're happy for him. That'd be nice to get another run here.
Jonathan Villar's first at bat. Counsell does give himself an option to keep Burns in the game. If the Brewers do add on here, Burns could finish. As long as it's a safe situation, you figured Knebel is going to be in there. And a slow breaking ball in there from Meyer for strike one. Double switch put Villar in the game at second base last inning. And his first trip to the plate. 6-4 Milwaukee. They have led since a 4-run second. They scored one in the first, and then the Marlins scored twice in the bottom of the first. It's kind of a wild beginning to this game. There were 8 runs on the board in the first 2 innings.
And things have settled down a lot since that time.
Travis Shaw hit a key home run in the 8th to give the Brewers a 2-run lead. One and 2 to Villar. Villar does have 4 hits off the bench. He's 4 for 12. Snap throw to second. Kratz is back.
And Villar's had a difficult time finding the starting lineup. I mean, he's Greg Counsell been putting Miller in there, and his bat is much better from the left side. Actually, Villar's numbers as a right-handed hitter much better than left-handed this year.
Villar hitting .306 right-handed, .255 as a lefty. Has hit 3 home runs from each side, 6 total.
Come on here.
Runner at second and Kratz. Villar in a 2-2 count. Hanging tough. And a good battle going here. Villar against Ben Myers. Pablo Lopez started this game for the Marlins, went 6 innings. Adam Conley worked a scoreless inning. Guerra gave up the home run to Shaw. And now Meyer for the 9th. Marlins have out-hit the Brewers 9-8, but the Brewers up 6-4. Villar takes a ball. Just missed. It's 3-2 now. Brewers with a 1.5 game lead on the Cubs. Both the Brewers and the Cubs lost last night in extra innings. Both got walked off last night. Giants took down the Cubs last night in 11. Pablo Sandoval had the big hit, the game-winning hit off Pedro Strop last night. Giants and Cubs will be underway momentarily from San Francisco. 3-2 pitch. That hit him. VR hit by a pitch. And it's first and second now with one out. Brewers a chance to add on.
And now the top of the order coming up, and no left-handers available for the Marlins. Not able to jump out of the way. Did it get the padding or the bottom of the foot?
Looked like maybe the heel of the shoe. VR looks no worse for the wear. And got a speedy base runner at first base with one out. So Kratz at second. VR at first. Back to the top of the order now, and Eric Thames. Thames with 2 hits. Dario mentioned the top of the order success here tonight. Thames has been a big part of that. Thames with 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Yelich with 2 hits, 2 RBIs and a run. Aguilar been on twice and scored a run. Shaw's been on 4 times out of the cleanup spot, including 2 RBIs, a home run in the 8th. No balls, 2 strikes on Thames.
See what the Reds did tonight? Indians had a 4-0 lead, 9th inning. Reds put up 7 runs on Cody Allen.
Wow. Cincinnati. They could not close the door against the Cubs over the weekend, but they certainly did tonight. Indians went up 4-0 in the 2nd inning. 7-run 9th. Won it 7-4. Reds can swing the bats. There is no question about that. Suarez, Jeanette, Votto, all of them are all-stars.
Yeah.
Ball and 2 strikes on Thames. And he goes. He got him on a breaking ball. It's a strikeout, out number 2.
Yeah, breaking ball down and in.
Miller Lite, what's on tap? Tomorrow, the Brewers and the Marlins, last game of the season series. Dan Straley against Freddie Peralta. 6 starts, 4 wins for Freddie Peralta. What a start. The rookie. See Corbin Burns tonight, Freddie Peralta tomorrow. You're looking at the future while the Brewers are leading the division and boasting the best record in the National League.
And giving them valuable experience.
Those prospects are going to pay off in this pennant race. They're either going to help at the big league level on their own, or an opportunity to make a trade or 2. Yelich out in front, and it's 0-2.
They have the prospects to pull off some deals. There are a lot of players down in the minor leagues that many organizations are interested in acquiring.
We haven't had too many opportunities to talk to David Stearns, who's on this trip, because he's had a phone jammed in his ear the whole time.
I think he'd prefer not to say anything at this point.
Yelich fouls it back. Playing those cards close to the vest, which he should. But there's a lot of rumors that are swirling, and the Brewers certainly in go-for-it mode.
A lot of conversations being had, that's for sure.
Jesus Aguilar having a hard time getting the weight off the bat. He got it. He could probably hit with that too. Who was that used to hit with a donut on the bat for batting practice? I'm trying to remember who that was. Was it Aramis Ramirez?
I don't remember.
I think it was.
Remember Dave Park used to swing a sledgehammer on the on-deck circle.
That was intimidating. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Yelich. 2 on, 2 away in the 9th. And that is fair down the line. Kratz on his way to the plate. VR right behind him. He'll try to score. Here comes the throw. And it is not in time. VR is in. Christian Yelich drives in 2 more. And the Brewers now lead it 8-4.
That's probably going to sit Corey Knebel down. How about Christian Yelich? Yeah, 3 hits today, 4 RBIs. Had a couple of hits in yesterday's ball game. A nice homecoming for Yelich here in Miami. Some more 2-out runs, 6 runs for the Brewers tonight with 2 outs. Just inside the third baseline, and the Brewers had the right guy at first base. Jonathan VR. Not too many guys are going to score on this, but VR able to. And that gives the Brewers a 4-run lead.
2 RBI double for Yelich. He is now 5 for 10 in the series in his return to Marlins Park. 4 RBIs tonight for Christian Yelich. 8-4 Milwaukee. A first-time All-Star. And Yelich now with 40 runs batted in for the season.
Those 2-out RBIs are just killers. Brewers have 6 of them tonight.
In the 2nd inning, the Brewers sent 5 batters to the plate with 2 outs. All of them reached. 3 hits and 2 walks. Yelich and Saladino had 2 RBI hits in that inning. And 4 on the board in this one. 2 on the board, I should say, as Aguilar strikes out. Inning is over, and now we'll see if Burns returns or does Corey Knebel come out. 8-4 Milwaukee. Adding on late, got a run in the 8th, added 2 more in the 9th on a Christian Yelich double, and now lead at 8-4, and that means Corbin Burns is back out for his 2nd inning, and this is a save opportunity for Burns, who entered the game in a 2-run lead in the 8th inning, so he carries on here. Hernan Perez will take over in right. Brewers tighten up their defense with Thames out, and Burns a 3-up, 3-down 8th inning, facing Martin Prado to start it here in the 9th.
A couple of base runners, and then it does become a save situation. Corey Knebel probably ready to go. We're hoping it doesn't come to that.
And the one thing that concerns you a little bit And you never know how an athlete thinks, but if Burns gets to the dugout, feels like he's done his job, gets the inning under his belt, and then kind of turns it off mentally, can you get it back? That's a big question.
I would imagine he came in after that inning and he was told very quickly by Derek Johnson, if we score some runs, you're going back out. So I really don't think he spent a whole lot of time thinking he was done.
Prado pops it foul and out of play. 3-2 the count now. '23-year-old Corbin Burns, his major league debut. Going hard. I remember talking to Marcus Hanel, the Brewers bullpen catcher, who catches everybody that comes through. And Marcus is always a good read on stuff. He's been here a long time. And his first impression of Burns as he was coming through spring training was, this guy might have the best stuff I've seen in the system.
Yeah. And he's seen a few.
Number 55 there, Marcus Hanel. Coos. Prado on the ground to short, right at Saladino. And it's another 6-3 ground out. Saladino's been busy tonight. 4 in a row retired by Burns.
And good job by Burns coming back. He was down in the count 3-1, able to throw some strikes. One surefire way to get yourself out of a game like this, start walking guys.
Top of the order, Derek Dietrich, strike one. 95-mile-an-hour fastball with sink. Burns' strikeout ratio, his strikeout per 9 was up over 9 in AAA this year. There's a half swing, he goes, and it's 0-2.
That first curveball he's thrown.
That is nasty.
Yep, 2 different breaking pitches. Slider, there's your curveball that Dietrich not able to hold up on.
See what he does here. 0-2 pitch. Cutter inside, got in on his hands. 2 away. We saw a lot of this guy this spring, and there was a lot to like about Corbin Burns. He is a strike thrower with nasty stuff.
Yet another guy making a big contribution to the Brewers. It seems like every time they bring somebody up, they're able to get the job done.
Last time a pitcher got a save in his major league debut was Kyuji Fujikawa of the Cubs back in 2013. Fujikawa had thrived in Japan. A little bit of an asterisk there. Yes, it was his major league debut. This is a young pitcher. There's a fly ball, shallow center field. Broxton gives way to Perez, and that's it. And Corbin Burns, 6 up, 6 down, and a save in his major league debut. The only Brewer pitcher ever with a save in his major league debut was Dave LaPointe in 1980. And now Corbin Burns.
Wow.
Save number 1. What a performance.
Great stuff, huh? I mean, these guys that come up from the minor leagues, they show a lot of poise. A good job by Burns. 2 scoreless innings. 6 up, 6 down, and the Brewers pick up a win here in Miami.
They continue making headlines. So many different headlines, Dario, as Corbin Burns notches the save. Yelich with a 4 RBI game. And that sets us up for Brewers Live. Dario's in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios.